Hello and welcome back to LMX. Today we're diving into one of South Africa's most enduring political stories, the rise, reign, and possible reckoning of the African National Congress, or ANC. Once known as the home for everyone, the ANC has been a unifying force with iconic leaders like Oliver Tambo, Nelson Mandela, and Walter Sisulu at its helm. But recent election results, from local government polls to significant losses in key provinces like Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal, suggest that the party's near-absolute grip on the nation may be weakening. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll explore whether this marks the end for the ANC, what alternatives might emerge, and if it's time for a new era of multi-party coalitions in South Africa. The ANC's history is as rich as it is complex. Born out of the struggle against apartheid, the ANC was more than just a political party. It was a movement that united a nation. Figures such as Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, and Walter Sisulu not only shaped the course of the liberation struggle but also established the ANC as a beacon of hope for millions across South Africa. This legacy laid the foundation for the democratic transition that saw South Africa emerge as a symbol of resilience on the world stage. Yet, as the country moved from the struggle era into nation-building, the same strengths that once consolidated its support are now being questioned by a growing number of voters, frustrated with unfulfilled promises and internal challenges. Fast forward to today. Recent local government elections have exposed significant cracks in the ANC's armor. In many metropolitan areas, the party lost its majority, a clear signal that voter sentiment is shifting. Nationally, even in traditional strongholds like Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal, the ANC's dominance has been seriously challenged. Many voters now see the party as unable to meet modern governance expectations. Rising concerns over corruption, internal factionalism, and a stagnant economy have fueled this change, placing the ANC at a critical crossroads. This evolving landscape raises key questions. Is the ANC's era drawing to a close? And if so, what alternatives are emerging to challenge its long-held dominance? Let's break it down by the political spectrum. On the left-wing parties and movements have grown increasingly vocal, calling for radical reforms to tackle economic inequality and systemic injustice. The Economic Freedom Fighters, or EFF, have long been a prominent voice for radical change. Now, joining and in many ways redefining the left is the MKP, officially known as the Umkhonto weSizwe Party. Far from being a marginal force, the MKP has surged to become the third biggest party in South Africa. Under the leadership of former President Jacob Zuma, the MKP captured around 14.6% of the vote in the recent elections. Drawing strong support from critics of the current ANC government, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, the MKP champions radical economic reforms, including nationalization of key industries and land redistribution. Their rapid rise signals a significant realignment on the left, challenging both the traditional ANC support base and the more established progressive voices. In the center. The center of South African politics has traditionally been occupied by parties advocating for liberal democratic values and market-friendly policies. The Democratic Alliance, for example, continues to push for efficiency, accountability, and a more inclusive economic policy. While the DA's strong urban support base gives it an edge, critics argue its policies sometimes fail to resonate with the broader, diverse electorate that once rallied behind the ANC. There's ongoing debate over whether centrist forces can broaden their appeal by moderating their stance or by forming strategic alliances to present a united alternative to decades of ANC dominance. On the right. On the conservative end, parties like the Inkatha Freedom Party and the Freedom Front Plus offer a distinctly different vision. These parties attract voters who are cautious about rapid change, and who emphasize cultural identity and traditional values. Though their appeal is more limited in scope compared to the ANC, they remain important regional players. In a broader opposition coalition, their distinct perspectives could help balance the political spectrum against the long-reigning ANC. Coalition politics, a new mainstay. One of the most compelling trends in today's political landscape is the rise of coalition politics. With the opposition fragmented along ideological lines, the prospect of a unified multi-party coalition is becoming more attractive. At the local level, coalition governance has already shown that diverse parties can come together to challenge entrenched power. Nationally, if opposition forces, including centrist and left-wing parties, can forge common ground on issues like governance reform and anti-corruption measures, they may well be able to unseat the ANC's decades-long dominance. So, is this the end for the ANC? While the party remains a formidable force, the recent electoral shifts signal that many South Africans are ready for change. A new chapter that may see the reconfiguration of political alliances and a more competitive electoral environment. The future could unfold in several ways. The ANC might reinvent itself by addressing its internal challenges and reconnecting with its base through renewed policies and leadership reforms. Opposition parties may consolidate either along ideological lines or by forming broad-based coalitions to challenge the ANC's legacy and reshape the political landscape. A hybrid model may emerge where local coalition dynamics influence national governance, creating a more responsive and inclusive political system. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Can the ANC reinvent itself and reclaim its status, or is this truly the beginning of a new era dominated by emerging forces like the MKP? And what role do you see for multi-party coalitions in the future of South African politics? Drop your comments below. If you enjoyed this analysis, please give this video a like, subscribe to LMX and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming deep dives into South African politics. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay informed and keep questioning the status quo.